Welcome to another edition of Bowie TV's Sports Spotlight. During this hour, we're bringing you highlights from our shows focused on all things sports in the DMV. Please be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. First on Pitt Sports Zone, Coach Clark Jr. of Robert Morris University shares his game day preparations ahead of the matchup against Youngstown State. Next, we catch up on the Washington Mystics post-game press conference after their last home game of the season against the Indiana Fever. On Baltimore Ravens Rundown, we take a look at the highlights and press conferences from the Week 1 loss against the Buffalo Bills. Lastly, we catch up with Candi Waller on Coaching from the Couch for a recap of the Week 1 win over the New York Giants. Don't go anywhere, and as always, enjoy this week's episode of Bowie TV's Sports Spotlight.
What's going on, everybody? Y'all know what it is. It's your boy Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio, Bowie TV, Pitt Sports Zone, coming to you live. It's game day, Robert Morris University, Youngstown State, through the eye of the tiger. Y'all got me, your boy Pitts, and Coach Bernard Clark Jr., a.k.a. Tiger. What's going on today, Coach?
Hey, man, I'm excited about this game, man. Ready to kick things off. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm ready. You know, my son's game is a little later this afternoon. Got a long day of football after that, so I'm excited. The football season is back.
Ain't no doubt, baby. College football season is back. That's the exciting thing about it. Yeah, we talk about the pros a little bit, but this is all about college ball. You know that.
Yeah. So listen, Coach. We talked about how, you know, one of the things I wanted to, you know, kind of pivot to real quick before we talk about today and how you feeling is, you know, you talked about, you know, your displeasure with the way the team performed in practice the first 2 days. How have you seen, what has been your thoughts of them since?
You know, the crazy thing is, man, Thursday we had some rain. We hadn't had rain like all camp or anything like that. I don't know if the rain brought the joy back to them or what, man. Those cats were excited to practice. We had a good day of practice on Thursday. We had a great walkthrough yesterday. So I'm hoping that leads to something.
Yes, sir. All right. Discernment. That's our wow.
Absolutely. Discernment. Again, I think that's good too. I see what was happening through them during the week and paying attention to those things and trying to get them ready for the game. So we iron out some bumps and bruises we need to iron out and hopefully we can get this thing rolling in the right direction.
So listen, Coach, Youngstown State is coming in today. You're out there. You know, you're ready. What's your game plan? What's your thoughts this morning? How'd you feel when you woke up? Besides being blessed to wake up this morning.
You know, it's going to be the same thing each week, Chris, that we talk about. We've got to make sure we start fast, meaning that on offense, whether offense on the field first or defense is on the field first, whether we got kickoff or whether we got kickoff return, we got to make sure we start fast. Got to be on point when we hit that field. We got to be physical. We got to make sure we're being physical in everything that we do, whether it's causing fumbles, whether it's causing turnovers, or getting our mind in the right direction. The more important, we got to make sure we're finishing. And that may be 60 minutes, that may be 60 plus minutes or 60 minutes, but we got to make sure we finish in everything we do.
So listen, Coach, what do you need to see from Zach and the offense today starting out?
What was the question?
What do you need to see from Zach and your offense today starting out?
Again, I want to make sure we got a good running game. We got to establish the running game today. That's extremely important. We got to make sure we go out there and we're able to run the football. So I'm hoping the O-line can, you know, establish it real early and put those real against those guys real early and get those running backs in the right direction. Just run the ball extremely well. I think that's what Zach needs to do. The thing I want Zach to do is really take control of that huddle. Make sure the guys are on point, making sure everybody's doing their job, getting everybody in the right places, and making good decisions. You got to make good decisions as a quarterback. That's the thing that makes us good. That's the thing that makes us strong is him making good decisions.
Coach, I think one of your hands is blocking the mic at the end of your phone. Okay, got you. I can hear it. No, you're good. Okay, I did hear you though. It just so I could hear you. I'm sure they would be able to hear you. They can muffle it out too. But now listen. So we talked about the missed tackles, the amount of missed tackles last week. Mm-hmm. How has that been stressed and emphasized even more to the defense going into this week?
Well, the thing I always tell guys, I love when we go thud in practice. And what thud does, you got to make sure if a guy's 10-2, we got to make sure we're in position to go up and wrap him up, grab cloth, make sure our feet are with us, not reaching for a block, and wrapping him up and then holding on to him and letting him go so he can finish the run. So we've been doing a lot of thud this week in practice, make sure our guys in the right direction, taking proper angles. We've been doing a lot of angle tackles also, taking proper angles to make those tackles. Because not just about getting there, it's about how you're getting there and making sure you're getting there in the right way.
Hey, listen, Coach. What you wake up to with? What music did you wake up to on your mind this morning for the game day?
I woke up to it again. Last time that I checked, baby, it's still football season. Time to get this thing going. Last time I checked, we got to get rolling. We got to make sure we're on point. Got to make sure our guys are ready to play football. I mean, that's the thing that's most important. Like I said, I keep saying it. I sound like a broken record, but I'm going to keep repeating it. We got to be fast. Got to be physical. We got to finish.
What have you? What after looking at more of the tape? I know we talked about you focusing on your guys, and making sure your guys are executing, starting fast, and doing the things that they need to do first and foremost. Because when we're out of alignment, it's hard for us to check the others because we're not in position to where we're supposed to be, and that comes with the starting fast, the missed tackles, etc. What area are you excited about seeing on the field as a matchup today with your team, whether it's offense or defense?
I guess the biggest area I'm looking to see right now, they have a receiver that is pretty doggone good, number 4. And the young man, he was All-American last year. He's done a lot of good things. So their receivers against our DBs, and they also got some DBs. Got an All-American corner and an All-Conference safety that I'm looking good. So our outside, our defensive backs against their receivers and our receivers against their DBs. I'm really excited about that matchup today.
And when we talk about, the matchup between your DBs and their corners, your wide receivers and their wide receivers, your DBs, you spoke on something when we broke up a little earlier when I was asking what did you expect to see from Zach and the offense today, and you talked about the offensive line. You have one returning starter on that offensive line. And in my opinion, I feel that the offensive line is one of those positions that it takes a little longer for that continuity to kind of gel with them not learning the nuances, the flaws, and being able to help their brother out to the left or to the right. What is the challenges, or do you see any challenges with that so far yet, with them getting to know each other and having that continuity?
Oh, you hit it right on the head. You hit the nail right on the head. There's definitely challenges right now in our front 5. We're going to make sure, like you said, there's one guy that's returning who's a starter. The rest of the guys, we got some young guys. So we're still trying to put that continuity together. We're still trying to get that thing gelling in the right direction. So we think we got the right combination of 5 guys right now with some rotation of some backups going in. So we feel good about that. We've got to make sure the protection's there. Like you said, I want to see that challenge with our receivers against their DBs. We also got to make sure that protection's there. That goes back to making sure the running game is going in the right direction, make sure the running game is going the way we need it to go. So we're excited about that.
And Coach said it best for me. For some reason, I could never get that continuity correctly. But Coach knew what I meant with my Pittsburgh swag.
100%. 100%. Don't worry about it. It's like using, baby. We like using. We got to get it going. Is it using or yinzing?
Yinzers.
Yinzers. There we go.
Yinzers.
So you gotta get me correct on that.
Come on now, Coach. Come on now. It's 412. You in the 412. You see it everywhere you go. Man, so how's the weather? What's the weather looking like for you guys today?
Well, for me, it's kind of nippy out here. It's kind of nippy out here.
Coach don't like nothing Coach don't like no wind that blow.
Once it gets below 50, man, it ain't good for me. Sometimes 60 ain't good. But no, it's a little, I tell you what, it's perfect football weather. It's not cold, it's not hot, it's perfect football weather. It shouldn't have any guys getting tired, shouldn't have any guys cramping up. It is perfect football weather today.
It sounds like from the hairs of it, I can hear the wind. So it tells me the advantage that you was looking for to see what you have out of your front 5, offensively and defensively, because the games are won in the trenches. And with the wind blowing as hard as it sounds like that, it may not have to really put too much on the DBs with the wide receiver today, because from what I can hear and I see the flag behind you blowing, it seems pretty hard.
Yeah, it is. It's blowing pretty daggum hard, but I think our guys are ready for it. Like you said, again, I don't know what direction it's blowing in, and sometimes you get in the stadium, it starts circling a little bit, so we want to make sure we're good there. Now it goes back to when it's time to kick a field goal. How close do we need to get? How far do we need to get? And make sure we're planning on those things.
All right, Coach. You come in the locker room, you talking to your guys. RM, 1, 2, 3. In my coach voice. RM, you 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's it, baby. It's what it is this is RM, and then they say you.
You.
Then you say 1, 2, 3. It's FPS this year because it's fast physical finish. So make sure we're good. So it's RM, you, 1, 2, 3, FPF. So no, we're excited, man. I'm gonna walk in that locker room and I'm gonna tell the guys what's at hand. And we got to play together as a team. It goes back to our fifth quarter. I got the shirt on, you Bantu, and what it boils down to, I am because we are. We got to play together as a team. You know, we can't worry about individual stats. Can't worry about individual. We caused 4 fumbles last week as a unit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're able to do that as a unit. We got to continue to perform as a unit. Several guys caused those fumbles, and 4 other guys recovered those fumbles. So we got to make sure we're playing together as a unit. Offensively, like I said, we have to get that run game going in the right direction.
Fast, physical finish. Listen, Coach, discernment and distraction was last week. Discernment in this week. You know, last time that I checked, they went together. I'm looking for a victorious outcome today.
Hey, let's make it happen, man. And you know what time it is. Let's go, Bobby Mo.
Hey, man, listen, y'all heard it here. Today's game day, man. If y'all don't, check it out. You in the Pittsburgh area, check it out. Robert Morris versus Youngstown State. Wherever you get your football, wherever you watch Comcast, Verizon, whatever. We in there. Let's go, Bobby Mo. Let's go 1-0 this week. Last week is going. No distractions. We move forward. The discernment of moving forward and taking care of business today, being in position, that's all they ask for.
Ain't no doubt. Let's come together as a unit. I'm sorry, Yinzers. Let's make sure we come together as a unit.
Yeah, Yinzers. I'm your boy Pitts, man. Through the eye of the tiger, Coach Bernard Clark Jr. It's going down Bowie TV, Pitt Sports Zone. Y'all know what it is.
Ever wonder what it's like to attend a Mystics game? Well, here we go. Community and fan engagement always top notch. From moon bounces to a gaming truck to balloons for the kids, cotton candy, I had to get some henna, and even foam pits for the kids. If it's your first game, make sure you stop by for your first game certificate. Branded giveaways, don't leave without them. DJ Heat always in the building. And in an arena that holds just over 4,200, every seat is always filled and the energy is never lacking. And if you're coming to a Mystics game, you know you're going to see some buckets. With just 2 home games left, I hope to see you there.
Hey, y'all. Okay, I think we're good now. Hey, y'all. Sonia, I want to start with you. We keep hitting these milestones and asking you about them. Today you passed Slim for the single season points record. I guess my question was, if we're back in May and we've kind of talked about this before, but if it's back in May and we tell you that you're going to set the all-time franchise single season points record, what would your reaction be?
I wouldn't believe you. Definitely not something that I was thinking about in the beginning of the season. But yeah, no, I would just tell you I didn't believe you.
As you kind of go along and check off all of these milestones, is there any one facet of your rookie season that you are most proud of?
I wouldn't say there's an award or milestone I'm most proud of. I think I'm just proud of the team, the program, and how we've continued to fight and just grow together. Yeah, I would say just proud of the team.
And one quick one for you, Sid. I think they scored 27 off 22 turnovers today. Did you feel they were doing something particularly to kind of force them, or were they a little bit more self-inflicted?
Yeah, I mean they played hard. They were pretty physical with us. I think overall, I shared with the players that I felt like I did a poor job of preparing us, frankly. And it was physical and all that stuff, but I think it's just important that they know it, and I shared that with them. And we got to learn and grow, and that means we'll do that together, you know. So a turnover here, a turnover there, but overall, just we weren't comfortable, and I think that's you know I need to own that. I think their effort was the way it's been, much of this season, which has been wonderful. I just, we're also hitting a point where people are starting to crank it up a bit, in terms of getting ready for playoffs, and Indiana certainly look like they had that focus as well.
Sydney, picking up on that, when you say you don't feel like you did a good enough job preparing them, were there things you thought Indiana did that caught you by surprise, or what makes you have that evaluation?
I think the physicality and just like what we were, well, what I wanted them to go to, or what we were trying to exploit from that, basically. And so we don't always see that. But that I can help them, and I have, and they've helped themselves. And I just think like that wasn't quite there in terms of my help for them today. And that's it's not a good feeling, but they've given so much that I think you got to be honest sometimes.
Sonia, for you, you broke the single season scoring record on that layup in the second quarter. I don't really know how to describe it, but you kind of spun the ball in a circle and then put it up, if you remember that at all. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, it was like a righty layup on the left side, but you spun it first. Can you just like walk me through what you saw on that one? Because I don't know that we've seen that fancy of a layup from you this season. I mean, I think I came off a pick and roll, and I saw there was an open lane, but I think Howard was kind of there, but not fully committed. So I picked up my dribble and I kind of I didn't want her to strip the ball from me, and then I tend to shoot righty on the left side, so just
Tell her it's a New York jelly, bro. Tell her. Tell her.
yeah,
That's what it is.
what
It's
Kira
jelly.
said, yes.
Jelly fam.
Kira, what'd you think of the layup?
It's jelly. Very New York of her.
Kira, just one more for you. You know, one game left. What do you want to see from your team as far as the response today? And just what do you want to see on Tuesday to make you feel like you're entering the off season on a good note?
I mean, I would love a win. Like getting back to how we play with confidence, with pace. Like Coach said, being comfortable, but doing that at New York would be amazing with the dub. So, but it's, at the end of the day, we just want to feel good when we go out there and play together. And I think the past couple of games we've been building that back up, and we just want to finish that feeling off, whether it is a win or a loss.
Hey, Kara, this is Rob Knox from the Next. Can you just share what are you most proud of your growth from the beginning of the season to now, or how would you evaluate your entire season?
Um, I mean, I'm just thankful to be healthy. It's the most games I played since my rookie season. There's been a lot of growth and a lot of tests in ways I didn't expect. And I just want to continue to become the player I know I can be. And this was a good first step, but I mean, I'm still nowhere near where the goal is. So just happy to be healthy first and foremost. So.
Damon on Zoom.
Hey, coach. Obviously, I know the result isn't something you all were looking for, but what can you all learn from games like this that can help you going into next season?
I shared in the huddle. I felt like this was very much a playoff setting. I really mean that. How the game was officiated, how the game was played from a physicality standpoint. I really I was very happy for us to have this experience. And I think it is very much something that we can take and build on from there. So I was really, really pleased with that, despite the score.
Shakir, how did you like, having the game? You all played in Baltimore multiple times this year. How was the crowd and how was the interaction with the fans?
I mean, it was better than last time. They were cheering a little too much for Indiana last time, so wasn't a fan of that. But this year, I mean, this game, they did a little bit better, showing us a little bit of love. So I would love to keep playing here and having the atmosphere if they're going to root for us.
Sonia, what can you take from your rookie season that can help you build on it as you head into the off season, as you all look to continue to improve as a team?
I think a lot. I think there's been a lot of learning lessons throughout this whole season. And I mean, specifically from this game, just really learning how to deal with physicality, especially just on the dribble and not letting them take me out of what I want to do. Is something that sticks out today.
I mean, you got to make plays on the ball. You got to get sacks. You know, you got to turn the ball over. They got 4 downs, so you know it's kind of hard to just to play it even. You know, you guys come up with a turnover somewhere. You got to knock the ball out, get a stop. A 4th down stop. We're going to play. You know, they threw it back there and they made the play on the extended scramble. So that's what you have to do. You have to make a play and get off the field. You got to extend, stay on the field. I mean, we've had situations where we have done that in the past, but there've been too many of them. But get ready for the Browns.
What were your thoughts on Lamar's performance today?
I thought Lamar played great.
John, how big of a momentum shift do you feel the Derrick Henry fumble was ultimately in this game?
Yeah, it's a big shift.
John, what happened late in the second quarter there? You guys ran off the field with the late field goal. You know how they...
The clock ran out. The clock said 0-0-0.
So you thought it was in this game?
I mean, I don't think he got there for the field goal block play. Is that what you're asking?
No.
Came back out.
How disappointing was it to allow them that sideline play? When you
what happened with the play?
Yeah, with the play. And it also looked like offensively you snapped the ball a little early on one of the field goal. There.
Well, you try to run the field goal. The idea is to save the timeout because you might want to use it, which we did use a timeout to get lined up. Because in that situation, we run the clock down to, I think it got down to about 2 seconds. So. That's a milk and field goal. We practiced that before. That's one of the things we do. You can do it the other way. You can run it down and call timeout in 1 second. You can do it that way too. We decided to do it the other way. You know, we had 6 seconds. You know, it's pretty crazy that he got it.
John, how disappointed is it that those small things end up moving so large in a game like this?
Yeah, I don't really rank it that way. You know, it's just disappointing, but we got a game to play next week, and that's what we'll be focused on.
Hey, John, did you get an explanation at the end of the first half with the clock?
No, they didn't tell me.
Did you think that it definitely ran out?
Well, I did, what I could tell, but you guys saw it probably more than I did. You probably saw the TV. You know, you probably saw it. Didn't you see it?
It was close. It looked like it hit 0. It had hit 0.
It hit 0?
From the replay. And
it
then
did?
when they slowed it down, it looked like 1. So it was very close.
I guess that's how they do it now. They used to do it that way. So.
John, did you think of going for it at all on that 4th and 3?
Did think about going for it. You know, you just 4th and 3. If you don't get it, you're in field goal range. You know, so I think punting is probably what most people would do there.
What about, John, the 40-25 you guys just score? Did you consider going for 2 there on the extra point where Tyler missed? No.
16 would have been
Even after a game where you up by 15, I'm sure you felt like you had the game in hand, and then you ultimately lose.
Well, I mean, you just got to finish the game. Never over to 0-0 on the clock. We found that out tonight.
Lamar, did you have a say on that 4th and 3, or were you in coach's ear at all?
No, I was cramping, so that's why I pretty much jogged out the field. Because if I wasn't, everybody here know I would have been trying to go for a 4th and 3.
Lamar, the offense was so dynamic in the first half. You guys didn't punt 1 time. What changed, especially, and I know you had the touchdown drive in the 4th quarter, but what changed about the offense in the 4th quarter?
We just kept getting out the field. That's pretty much it. You know, we should have kept converting when we should have, when we needed to. Obviously, just got to do better. You know, like Coach said, we got the Browns next week, so we got to shift to them. I said, got to shift to the Browns.
You have a couple of these, losing the fourth quarter leads with 2 scores in the last few years. What do you kind of feel about? What is the pattern there, and how do you feel about that personally to have that on your record?
I don't really know about the pattern part, but all I know is when we up in the fourth quarter, like I said, the game is not over till 0:00 o'clock. We just got to keep converting on third downs or whatever, keep putting points on the board as much as we could.
You've gone against this Ravens defense all summer. How surprising was it to see them struggle with the way that they did?
I mean, it was the first game of the season. I'm gonna be surprised just because I feel like our defense is the best in the league. But everything not gonna be perfect. Like I said, beginning of the season, we got a lot of season left.
Can you put that in context, that it's week 1 versus not the end of the season as it was the last time you were here?
Yeah, absolutely. Our defense held them to like 20-some points last time. They got a lot of things went their way, a lot of momentum shifts happened for them, and I feel like that's why things like that happen. But shout out to them. Bills could have did a great job.
Lamar, the Bills said that fan that you had an interaction with got ejected. Could you kind of explain what you felt or saw?
I seen him slap D-Hop, but I wasn't really. He slapped me, and he's saying he's talking. So I just forgot where I was for a little bit, But you gotta think in those situations. You got security out there, let security handle it. But I just let my emotion get the best of me. But hopefully it don't happen again. I learned from that.
Lamar, will you not maybe go that close to the visiting side, the visiting fans?
No, because I've never seen our fans do that. So I'll probably do it again. We score a touchdown, but it's not nothing against the fans.
Right.
I'm just celebrating my teammates winning a touchdown.
Did Bills show anything different? Did they surprise you with anything defensively this evening?
Bills be the Bills. They're going to disguise defense. They're going to disguise their pressures and hold certain coverages and stuff like that. So. I just pretty much studied those guys, and I felt like we had a pretty good idea of what they was going to run today, and I feel like we capitalized. Yeah.
Lamar, excuse me. You guys talked for months about holding on to the ball, not making these mistakes late in the game, and here you are summing up another game where you guys made mistakes and cost yourself a lead. How disappointing is it, and what do you think it's going to take for you guys to nip some of these games in the bud where you're losing fourth quarter leads?
I mean, a lot of things go on in the game, and it was 4 minutes left. Our guys were trying to hold on to the ball and trying to, milk the clock as much as we could, because that's a great offense over there as well. And things just happened. It's not like any one of the guys tried to. They were trying to hold on to the ball as much as they could, but it just worked in the Bills' favor.
How do you, because this is emotional loss, having it lose like that. How do you keep it from, having it end here and not letting it spill over into the next few games?
Probably let it linger for the night, because we all hate losing in our team. I feel like anybody who playing a competitive sport is gonna hate losing, but probably let it linger tonight and then forget about it, because we're gonna have to get prepared for the Browns and divisional rival.
2 more from Mark.
What do you have to say to Derek after the night that he had, but also that crucial fumble late?
Tell him, let that go, man. He done did enough for it. He scored 80 yards, 50 yards one time, popped another one. He was just going off, but things happen. Unfortunately, it just happened at the wrong time, but I'm not gonna knock him for that. I fumbled in the playoffs. He knows, so it is what it is.
There's something about Buffalo, this crazy things seem to happen here with the Ravens at the
I feel like crazy things happen throughout the league, not just Buffalo. We have mishaps. I feel like every year I've been in the league, we done had weird things happen. Even back in M&T Bank Stadium, we done had weird things happen. We done been up and something weird happened. That's part of the game. You can't blame Buffalo Stadium or nothing like that.
Blocking that kick, bro.
I swear I thought I blocked it. I don't know if it went under, over, through my hands, but I want that one back. Shouldn't have come to that point, but it is what it is.
Kyle, you left for the training room at a point we were told it was a hand issue. What happened and how are you feeling?
It was just showing my finger on bottom. Came back in.
There's been a handful of these games each of the last few seasons in the early season. What's the pattern and why do you think it keeps happening?
I don't know. I wish I knew. I don't know, we is kind of banging our heads on the wall with it at this point. I mean, first and foremost, the offense puts up 40 points. No way that we should be in that position as a defense. I don't know. We just got to figure out how to win games. I mean, we're winning them for 45 minutes. Got to win them for 60 minutes. So, next week we'll get it fixed and try to be one of them.
Is there anything in specific they were doing there late in the fourth quarter that was giving you guys issues in the secondary?
Oh no, I have to watch the film. Just too many catch tackles for 8 yards. I don't know. That's something we should have to coach on film.
Kyle, is it doubly annoying that you knew that they had to pass and you guys still couldn't stop them late?
What was that? The first part?
Is it doubly annoying that you knew that they had to pass to move the ball downfield?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about it all offseason, how we struggled last season in the beginning, and it's a new year, it's a new team, and then we come out and do that, and it's like we're saying the same things, or we're saying something different, but we're doing the same thing. So I don't know if it's something mentally that we got to get over, it's a mental block, but like I look up at the scoreboard when they're about to kick the field goal and it says they got like 400 pass yards or something about to throw up on the field. So it's something we got to get fixed, and I know they were in a 2-minute mode for pretty much most of the fourth quarter, but still, like, we had opportunities to get off the field.
Kyle, I know these two losses are very different far apart, but you talk about banging your head against the wall. Does it, I know you guys are trying to start out on a new note this season, but does it kind of bring back some of the feelings you had here in January?
No. I mean, that was a completely different game, just the way the game flow went. Brings back memories of us doing this multiple times in the past few years, so I don't want the Ravens to be known as a team that gets up big and blows the lead, so it's not who we are, and we got to prove that to everybody else, because as of right now, that's what we've been doing in these games, so it's up to us to go back and fix that. I know we have the people in the room, in the building to do it. It's just a matter of getting it done, honestly.
You have kind of highs and lows, obviously, in this game. You kind of see what the offense can be, but then not the result you want. What happened out there?
I mean, we scored 40 points, against a good defense. So, we'll never be perfect, but a lot of things to learn from. Obviously, I think, you guys see that we had a skill set to go out and, win against a great defense like this, but obviously we didn't get it done, so just got to go back to work.
Obviously, your first game was Raven, come up with a big touchdown at times. What do you come out of this game, what do you take away from this game?
I got some things I can work on. I like to be perfect. I'm a perfectionist, so for myself, I feel like earlier in the game there were some things that I could have did to help Lamar out. So for myself, I got the responsibility outside of the catch. So for myself, first game, a lot of things I can improve and help this team due to not being in that situation.
We've seen catches like that from you over the years, obviously, but is there something good to kind of make your stamp on a catch like that in the first game?
We didn't win. I really don't care too much about that catch, man. I care about winning. So that catch really, for me, is in the past. I got to go out and execute and do little things better.
We heard from the Bills that the fan who shoved your helmet in the end zone celebration was ejected. What happened on that to your eyes?
A fan being a fan. Obviously, Buffalo fans are very enthusiastic about their team. So that's out of my control.
I was on the touchdown. Can you describe what happened on that? How you made that one-handed grab?
Just one-on-one, Lamar gave me a chance. We done that in practice. So him just trusting me.
Yeah, but it looked like the window was so tight. The coverage was right there, and you still was able to make the play.
Yeah, man. I guess that's what happened. That's what washed receivers do.
Mm-hmm. What goes into the mindset? Obviously, the offense came out tonight 40 points, but still, unfortunately, we lost. How did that eat into helping the defense out mentally?
It's a team game. Derek came in here and was saying that it's on him. But like I told him, I keep real. It's not on you. We gave up 400 yards pass, and then we scored 40 points, and that guy put us in position to win. So even though he fumbled, still 22 guys on the field, man.
When you're a vet, how do you go about just flushing this loss and kind of looking forward to the next game?
I've been in this league for a long time. I feel very good about this team. You know, that Bills team is a playoff team, and we had those guys up by 15, but just didn't finish. So I don't think we need to hang our head. Obviously, first game of the year, a lot of things to work on, a lot of things to improve. So you gotta give credit to those guys out there for executing off our mistakes, and the Bills for converting when they needed to.
More practice obviously would have been nice, but that's just not how the cards folded.
You were out there on the field playing that game. What was the biggest problem when you have a 15-point lead, 4 minutes left, and you ultimately lose it? For defensively, what do you think was the biggest problem out there?
Biggest problem? I mean, I wouldn't say it was a problem, man. I mean, we're playing against a good team, a good quarterback. That was the problem. So, I mean, it's week 1, so we just got to learn from it.
Was there a point that you felt fundamentally turned? Did it kind of come at you guys suddenly, or was there something that you knew?
Nah. It was just the duration of the game. It was a long second half, for sure.
How do you not let a game like this, an emotional loss like this, spill into the next 2 weeks?
You got to reset. Watch the film, and then we reset, and then get prepared for our next opponent.
I remember saying that you just felt like the pass rush and secondary wanted them to push the other one's winner. Did you feel that disconnect as well, just between the different units of defense?
I mean, that's just how football is. I mean, it's a game of ups and downs. I'm not really sure. I got to look at the film and be able to tell you that.
Yeah, they were great tonight and did their jobs really well. And going out there for the first one was fun. Adrenaline was going, and then right before the half, 49 was good. And it was good.
What happened on the missed extra point?
Just bad timing.
Bad
timing on snap, kick, what?
My start to the ball. So just back there, kind of a mental lapse in the process, and kind of a, here we go, and not the smooth process we've been working on, and it broke, and that's.
Obviously, not every game is going to be like this. I mean, what does this kind of teach you about the margins in the NFL and just how every play counts?
Yeah, I mean, every team in the NFL is a good team. Like, if you don't show up and bring your A game every day, someone's going to beat you. And so, that's where I understand for me. Like, I got to do my best, and I got to show up for these guys and make my kicks and do my job. That's something that I strive for and I care about deeply. And now we got the Browns this week, and it's time to get back to practice and get back to work, hammering in, just continuing to grow in that area and make kicks.
What do you take from this game? First NFL game, get some long kicks. Obviously didn't turn out the way you wanted, but what do you take out of this game?
It's just another game, Unfortunately, not the result we wanted, but now we got to control what we can control, and that's we've got the Browns coming up on Sunday, so we got to move on to that. But out of this game, I mean, Nick Jordan and I can do it. Right? We can go make kicks, and that's what we're going to do, and that's what we're going to try to do.
They can really compress that pocket, or else you're going to find a way to scramble and use his feet, and he's faster than you really think. And we just sure tonight.
September has kind of been a rough month with you guys in these leads. I mean, the Colts in 23, the Raiders last year. What do you kind of see as that early season pattern, and what do you feel like the team needs to change to win more of these games?
Just finishing strong. Like, we had a really good lead, and we blew it, and that's just unacceptable. That's just not the way we want to finish, and it's disappointing. It's on to the next game. We'll watch the tape and see things that we could have done better. It happened again.
I know from
your perspective, you always kind of think about what can the Ravens do. But overall, I mean, how good was Josh Allen tonight?
Very good quarterback. He's really good at throwing. Really fast. He's strong when he runs the ball too. He doesn't have much weak points. He's a guy that really have to like suffocate the pocket, make him very uncomfortable, make him throw on the well. That's when he makes mistakes.
Right.
And early in the first quarter, I think he threw it to Sparks, but he just dropped it. Those things we could capitalize on. And we're gonna get better at that. He's young. He's gonna get better at that. I know it. He's hard work. He's gonna get better at that. But he's tough. Tough quarterback. He's pretty good.
Can't be perfect every week. Cannot be perfect every week, but hey, you can try, but they're not always going to go your way every single time. So hey, we'll see what happens Thursday, because we're gonna get into Thursday. We're gonna get into Thursday because we have to, but we got to keep kind of dissecting what happened on Sunday. So another clip from Jaden Daniels. Check it out.
And how much more of a comfort level is it for you to know that you guys don't have to like be at your absolute best, and you can still control the clock, you can still make big plays, and you can still put the game away at the end?
I mean, it's a complementary sport, and it's good to know that the defense was flying around today and they made plays, but we don't want to rely on defense getting stops, even though we play well off each other, but we want to go out there and execute at a high level.
So you could even sense, at least I could sense in Jaden's demeanor, and I was walking back and forth, so I got to his presser a little bit late, that, this is not a good for the win. Satisfaction, not even close, because there's some things that absolutely needs to clean up. Going to something positive. What about this run game? I've been sharing with you all now for well over a month about the Commanders' running back room, and that this is a strong point of emphasis, a position group to watch, going to make some noise, doing some good things. I do think it's important to mention the offensive line, right? Talked about Josh Connolly Jr. a moment ago, and just the test in going up against the Giants' defensive line and how they certainly held up. Was everything perfect? No, not at all. But to see the blocking ability from the run game, all the various yards per carry for Eckler, for Bill, for Jeremy McNichols, seeing the blocking abilities on that Deebo Samuel touchdown, you saw this offensive line with John Bates and others. There was some times they all got involved in the blocking to make plays happen in a speed that I know I've been mentioning this to you all before, when seeing them practice, and it's like they're getting faster. And I was saying this back in OTAs, like, are they faster? And it's you don't want to say it. You got to see it in real time. You got to see it. But I'm like, they're faster. Like, I'm looking at even the guys from last year. They're that is what they're working on, that speed and that agility at the line of scrimmage. And you absolutely saw it for sure. Bill forgot his touchdown football again.
Scoring your first NFL touchdown, looks like you forgot the ball again. But what was that moment like?
Yeah, I forgot the ball again. I mean, I told myself, like, when I score, I'm gonna make sure I keep my football. And I think the excitement just take over, and I just end up dropping it. But Terry ended up fighting the ball and just giving it to me.
Write this down in your notebook. You've been using your clues. When Jaden Daniels shared who got him his first touchdown football, right? I guess it was maybe it's preseason or regular season, because it's a thing in the preseason and then in the regular season. He said Zach Ertz and Terry McLaurin made sure he had his football. And to hear that for Bill, that Terry McLaurin, here he is again, made sure that Bill got his football. Kudos to Terry. Make sure you all tag him, tell him that he's a dope dude, because he is. And just so glad things are back to normal, right? Okay, let's get into then today's press conference, the media met via Zoom with Dan Quinn. So basically, today is Wednesday's practice for the team. Tomorrow is Thursday's practice. Wednesday is Friday's practice because they have such a short week to prepare. So that is kind of how they are managing that. So media was not there today. We'll be there tomorrow, Tuesday. So that's like the Thursday practice, I think, right? Yes. And then Wednesday is the Friday practice. I will actually be traveling during Wednesday's practice. So I'll be making sure that I'm in Green Bay, prayerfully safe and sound. Prayers up on that. But let's get into today's press conference and some important points and things of note. Again, some more from Dan Quinn, especially after he's had an opportunity to look at the film, and then a bit about Thursday night's matchup against the Green Bay Packers.
I thought after going through it last night and again this morning, a lot to clean up. But one thing, man, that I really appreciate was, kind of the attack tone and nature of the defense, especially down in the low red zone. Coming off of last season, there were some things we really wanted to improve on. And trust and believe that every coach and player was trying to elevate that part of it. And I know it's just a first glimpse, but I'm excited to see them grow as a defense and see where we can take it. I talked to you about identity and how we play is the most important thing. That's even over what we play, meaning a call. So that becomes identity. But you got to really do it over and over again. So I was pleased to see that. And glad to get it rocking with you guys, whether you want to hit on the game or Green Bay, ready to get rolling.
If you all are just tuning in, this is the live version from the Coaching from the Couch series, the Washington Commanders Update. I am your host, Candi Waller. I am on site covering the Washington Commanders for Bowie TV. If you're in Prince George's County, Maryland, and you have not cut your cable and you have Comcast, you can find Bowie TV on channels 190 and 1097. Hopefully, if you are watching online this live episode, you are subscribed and loving Bowie TV. Make sure you share this show and the channel with your Commanders loving family and friends. We love to give you all of the latest and greatest information on the Washington Commanders. As we have it, you all have it. So I'll just keep plugging it away. Hope you all are enjoying this episode so far. Going into my question for Coach Quinn. A moment ago, I talked about the offensive line. I also talked about the defensive line because you got to talk about both. Both did some really, really great things. In the middle of, at one point in the game, I was just really watching Commander Center Tyler Biadasz because I was and I have it in my notes right here in my notebook because I keep my notebook. If I tell you all to keep a notebook, hey, it's for a good reason. I would never tell you to do something that I don't do myself. So I was so impressed. And I was I remember when Tyler Biadasz, I'm good on pulling receipts. And using your clues, and one thing Seawall is going to do is pull receipts. So I will never forget in Tyler Biadasz's first one of his first press conferences when he first got to the Commanders. This was last May. I remembered him making a comment about the offensive line moving 5 as 1. I remembered that, and I just stayed on it for a minute. And I would see it throughout the season last year, and I saw him do such an impressive job in a very hard assignment against the New York Giants. So I wanted to ask Coach Quinn about Tyler Biadasz. And you all know I do something else too. When I feel like I don't know where I'm going to go today in practice, where am I going to go look? Whoever makes me look, that's where I'll look. Who's one of the many players on defense that made me look yesterday was Dietrich Wise, one of the newest members of the team. There was plenty though. Will Harris is another one, the whole secondary, everybody. So I asked Coach Quinn about Tyler and Dietrich. Check out his response. Hey, Coach. I have a question for two of your players, one on offense and one on defense. You already mentioned Tyler Biotage, so I want to get your thoughts on his performance yesterday, and then Dietrich Wise.
Sure. Yeah, I thought from a line of scrimmage standpoint, this was going to be the game, Candi. We would really have to test and push and see where we could go. And so Tyler probably has not the hardest matchup. It's a hard matchup in a different way. They've got guys that can fly and really rush outside, but Dexter provides a whole nother challenge just because he's got strength, he's got quickness to go, and so that'll call on you to really, play well. But I thought Ty led the whole thing in front, the calls, the movements to go. And then on the other side with Wise, I thought he made a really good first impression as a commander. He's tough, man. He's square, he's strong, all the things that we saw in practice. But the play that probably sticks out to me the most was on down in the red zone. There was a quick throw out to Neighbors. Quan came up to make a tackle. He didn't get it, but you really saw Wise just hauling ass out of the stack and making a tackle. That's finishing. That's effort. So that was like my favorite play for him from the game.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so that play was one that I had written in my notebook. So I was like, yes. I like it when whatever I'm thinking and wherever's going, I'm like, okay, great. I do know what I'm watching. And it was just like, wow, because he's right. Quan did some amazing things, but in that moment, can't get them all. He did miss it. In Dietrich Wise, and I think I'm going to tell you why, being very transparent, this is sticking out for me. We post, video from practice, training camp, and, they're not in team drills. They are in individual drills or in position drills. And in one of the drills, there was all these comments about Dietrich Wise being slow and looking slow in the video. And I'm like, it's just a video. Like it wasn't like a high intensity part of practice. And some of my teammates were like, he's not slow. And I'm like, hey, listen, week one, they'll see him. So everybody saw him. And I really appreciated Coach just making the comment about being a commander and what that means. Because it's a real thing, everybody. What does a commander do? What does it look like in games? Right. And he did it. I saw it. And so definitely Tyler Biotage was one that I wanted to kind of continue to pull that thread on, and Dietrich Wise as well. Now, let's get into some of the things that didn't look so well. I got to jump to something that didn't look so well, and that's the penalties. So let's get into DQ's response on that.
Hey, Coach. Just curious, after watching the film, what did you see from those penalties on Sunday, and how do you go about cleaning those up on a short week?
Yeah, you want to show them all, Liam, first off. The ones that are physical and look at it, like, for instance, like a roughing, can we, lower our hands so that wouldn't happen? Those ones, you just coach your way through. The ones that are the pre-snap ones, we had an aligned offsides on offense. We had a false start. I do like when I see people come back, and show resilience. For instance, Austin had an offsides and came back to make an epic conversion. Zach had an offsides, came back to make a good touchdown catch. So I don't like them, Liam, and I show them to try to coach us out of them, especially the pre-snap ones. But I do like seeing resilience for people, even if it's a drop pass. I thought Jalen Lane kind of showed that as well. There was a drop, and he came back to make a conversion later. Those are things I'm looking for in the game as well. But for sure, to be lapped in penalties 2-1, not what we're looking for, man.
Thanks, Coach.
No, not at all. And see, going back to my question from after the game, when, I asked about Nick Ballore, and Coach just started going down this path about, of course he was spot on talking about Nick Ballore, but then he just got wired in on the penalties, because this is a conversation that I have had with Coach. I want to know. I would like to know. I really want to know. And whether it's a question or just following up later on, hey, I don't. And so, and then, in the locker room, I was able to talk to some players directly about their penalties and the ones that were on them. And just talk it through. I want to learn. I want to be educated on that topic. And I've joked a bit, but it's not really a joke, you all, that I talk to officials. I want to know so that I'm aware. And some of them are just senseless. And those pre-snap penalties, not a good look. And I definitely don't think Thursday night is the type of time you want to be on to be getting any pre-snap penalties. This is not the situation where you want to just be giving away yards. Definitely not the situation. Another thing that Coach was asked about, what was that at the end of the first half? What was that? The whole 2-minute drill, what happened? So Coach did touch on that a bit today as well.
Hey, Dan, I was just wondering, what did you think of in review the end of the first half sequence from when you guys called the last time out to what happened on the last play where Jaden gets called for the penalty?
Yeah. So in that space, on the first one, we want to make sure when we're getting close, you can get 2 plays off for sure. And then as it gets closer between a third down and a first down, what we would have preferred to do in that scenario is to go clock it. And then if you have a first down, do it quickly. And if it goes into where it's going to be, a third down play, you can do it a little more slowly, knowing that's going to be the last play of the half. So we just missed it, Ben, and it was a bummer for us to leave 3 points there. We've worked some scenarios similar to that one, but not that exact one. But yeah, we just missed it, man, and that falls on me of not having the guys ready to go execute at that spot.
And what I was aware of, and I think I kind of posted this and tweeted it as well, I said, I've watched them do this type of thing, all training camp. And that was when it was still some, maybe 20 or so more seconds left. And then for it to end the way that it did, I was like, well, that clearly did not go as planned. And, whatever the plan was, it couldn't have been that. So, hey, what I would take away from that and that response from Coach is, hey, I missed it. Didn't have them ready to execute that. Called it, didn't have them ready to execute it. Appreciate that transparency. Again, in week 1, you want to see the admission and the transparency of it wasn't good enough. That wasn't good, or it was sloppy, or I missed it. You want to see that. You want to hear that. Because knowing what we know about this staff and this team is that they are going to work on it and they're going to get better. Now, going back to something positive to close out on the week 1 conversation before we get into Green Bay, I saw someone in the comments talk about Debo and say something about Debo. And listen, let's be clear. Nobody's giving Debo back to anybody. Okay, Debo needs to be a kept man in Ashburn. All right, he needs to be a kept man over there. And I think he likes it. His teammates definitely like it. And I'm getting ready to bring up a topic that I was asked in pregame. And I'm smiling already because it's funny to me. And if, my big brother in the business, Lake Lewis, you can tag Lake. All summer, he would be like, they're not going to have Debo returning kicks. I said, Debo is returning kicks in front of our faces. He's absolutely going to return kicks. No. He's not going to return. He will, and he shall. Okay? Because they one thing that this team has never done, this organization, is gassed us on something that's just not real. Like, it's real. He's absolutely going to return kicks. And I remember going back to urban sports scene, all burgundy and gold, everything before in the pregame. Wole asked me the same thing. Tag Wole. Wole asked me the same thing. He said, they really going to have Debo back there returning kicks? Short answer, yes.